You guys are not going to believe what Fortnite and Epic Games have in store for us here in Season 9 of Fortnite Battle Royale. You thought the volcano eruption was the most destructive and chaotic event in Fortnite history? Well, guess again. Because at the end of Season 9, we are going to witness what many are calling the biggest event that Fortnite Battle Royale has ever seen, as we are going to see the catastrophic unveiling of the Polar Peak monster. For weeks now, something has been scheming inside of the Polar Peak iceberg, and absolutely no one knows what it is. But we have a lot of clues, hints, and teases pointing towards what exactly is going to be occurring when the iceberg finally cracks open and the Polar Peak monster is unleashed. And believe me when I say, this is an event that you are not going to want to miss, because what we have here today is seriously indicating that this event is going to be monumental for Fortnite. What's up guys, and welcome back, and thanks for stopping by. If you are new here, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on, and if you enjoy the video, don't forget to drop a like rating on it, as it would be much appreciated. And now without further ado, let's take a look at the Polar Peak monster, everything we know about it, and also what we know about the Polar Peak event that will be unfolding here very soon. Right off the bat, you might be asking, well, how soon is the event going to unfold? That is honestly one of the biggest mysteries surrounding the event right now, and I feel like, quite frankly, we know more about the monster itself than we do the timing of the event. But we can narrow it down to a pretty slim window. We know as of right now, Season 9 of Fortnite Battle Royale is looking to end right around the very end of July. And we also know that on July 26th, 27th, and 28th, the Fortnite World Cup Finals will be taking place. And if there is anything that we can say about the Polar Peak event right now, it's that we know it is going to be incredibly destructive. And with that said, the Fortnite competitive community has time and again said how irritating it is to have massive map changes occur shortly before there is a major tournament, as it doesn't really give the players enough time to alter their rotations or figure out new drop zones, etc. So I do not think the Polar Peak event is going to be happening on the week of the World Cup Finals. That way players will actually know the map when the World Cup Finals take place. So that means the event could be going down during 2 potential weeks, that being the week prior to the World Cup Finals, since that's going to be roughly week 8 or week 9 of Season 9, which is typically when the events take place, or the event is going to take place just after the World Cup Finals on or around August 1st. My guess there would honestly be the former, since at the latest, Season 10 should be launching on August 1st, meaning the event will have had to already take place. So as of right now, I would say between July 13th and July 20th is our most likely date or time period for the Polar Peak event to take place. But as with all speculatory assumptions, dates are subject to change, but as more information becomes available, we'll definitely keep you guys in the loop, so make sure you're subscribed for that. Anyways, continuing on with the Polar Peak event, another solid question regarding the event is what exactly caused all of this? And the answer here really paints a much more clear image regarding what exactly is going on with the Polar Peak iceberg and of course the monster itself. And oddly enough, the Polar Peak monster's story actually stems all the way back to Season 7, where of course at the launch of the season in late 2018, we saw the iceberg collide with the Fortnite Islands, and with the collision we got the new iceberg biome, adding in several new points of interest, and also the iceberg introduced us to the Ice King, who might actually be the most evil of all the villains we've ever seen in Fortnite Battle Royale history, as this man literally imprisoned a fellow king, the Fire King, within a massive block of ice within his dungeon so that he could try and rule the Fortnite Islands and freeze it over. Of course though, we only had snow cover the entire island for a few days after the ice storm event, as the Fire King was able to break free and melt away all the snow as he hailed the volcano to the island. And while that was the primary storyline unfolding throughout the course of Season 7 of Fortnite Battle Royale, there were some things happening in the background that kind of slipped under the radar, if you will, as the season progressed. Oddly enough, the Fire King was not the only creature locked away in the dungeon of the Ice Castle, as you guys remember. Pretty early on into the season, players ended up discovering a handful of eggs frozen within the ice and snow, and these would slowly become the source of some major rumors all season long, as the eggs began to evolve ever so slightly as time went on. Eventually, a heartbeat could be heard when you were near the eggs, and a small serpent-like silhouette appeared on the physical eggshells themselves. But then when the Fire King escaped the dungeon, the eggs mysteriously disappeared, and when Season 8 came around, the eggs just so happened to show up at the volcano, which was actually the Fire King's lair, or home base if you will, meaning the Fire King actually stole the eggs when he escaped, and eventually we'd come to find out that the hybrid skin hatched from the eggs thanks to one of the seasonal storyline loading screens that we unlocked during Season 8. But obviously there has not been a massive creature dwelling inside of the Polar Peak iceberg ever since day one, because if there was, the Ice King definitely would have used said creature to help freeze over and take over the island during the ice storm event, but I saw no massive creature, thus I'm led to believe the creature did not exist at that time, which then means one of those eggs must have been left behind, because whatever this Polar Peak monster is, I think it came from those same exact eggs. Obviously though, this monster is not the hybrid skin, as the eyeball of the monster is bigger than the hybrid skin or any other skin available for that matter, so what could this creature possibly be? Well, as of right now, there are a few theories going around regarding the identification of the monster. Originally, players were thinking that the monster was going to break free as a part of a new crossover event with the new Godzilla King of the Monsters film. But seeing as the movie is already out now, that outcome is looking less and less likely. And frankly, while it is a super cool theory, it doesn't really seem to have a solid foundation, at least anymore. So that then leaves two more potential outcomes, both of which I would say have an equal chance at coming to fruition. The first of these two outcomes is that this monster is some kind of Godzilla-like creature, a massive lizard or a dinosaur-like beast that towers high but does not have wings or at least the ability to fly. The other outcome is that this monster is actually a dragon, and thus it'll be able to fly and traverse the land via the ground or the air. And personally, I don't know about you guys, but I am a lot more concerned about the dragon outcome. If this monster ends up being a dinosaur or a massive lizard type creature, sure, it might cause a ton of damage to the ground in the area around the iceberg and wherever the beast wanders off to, but if this creature is a dragon, literally it could go anywhere on the island in just a few moments and wreak havoc via its massive size or even its potential ability to breathe fire. I'm just saying, I have read a book or two, and dragons typically are not that friendly, and typically they breathe fire. Also though, there is the opportunity, I guess, here for a crossover with Disney for How to Train Your Dragon, in which, well, maybe we're all getting dragons for Season 10 and Battle Royale will be taken to the skies. No, in all seriousness though, I highly doubt this dragon, if that's what the monster ends up being, is going to be friendly, and if and when it breaks loose, the Fortnite island is going to be in big trouble. And truthfully, I guess regardless of whether or not this monster ends up being a dragon, or lizard creature, or dinosaur, or whatever else you might think of, the iceberg biome at the very least is not gonna have a good time when it breaks loose. I fully expect to see some catastrophic damage to the iceberg itself, which will then likely lead to some damage to the surrounding area, like for instance the frozen lake in Greasy Grove. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot of talk about the Greasy Grove event, and that's because many players are speculating that this monster will be the hero that Greasy Grove doesn't need, but the hero that Greasy Grove deserves, and it'll be the reason that we actually gain access to one of the most OG points of interest on the map yet again. Either that, or the monster might just end up stepping on Greasy Grove as it escapes, and in that case, it's not going to be Greasy Grove, it's going to be Greasy Gone. At the end of the day though, this event is going to be absolutely massive. It's going to be huge, it's going to be monumental, it is going to be one of a kind, and you guys definitely do not want to miss it. And of course, since the event is still likely a few weeks away at this point, whenever something new happens with the iceberg or we get some new information in the form of leaks and or rumors, we are going to be keeping you guys in the loop with everything going on regarding the escape of the Polar Peak monster. And there you guys have it. That is currently everything we know about the Polar Peak monster, about the Polar Peak event in and of itself, and everything going on here in the Season 9 storyline. It's pretty crazy, it's pretty out there, I'm excited to say the least, and with that being said, that is effectively going to wrap things up for today. Be sure to let us know down in the comments below what you guys think the Polar Peak monster actually is. Is it a dragon? Is it Godzilla? Is it something else? Let us know down below. Of course, if you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to drop a like rating on it, give it a big old thumbs up, it would be much appreciated. And if you are brand new here, feel free to subscribe with your post notifications turned on, that way you'll never miss another upload. Of course, by joining the notification squad, YouTube will actually send you a message every time we post a new video, that way you can be the first person to watch, like, and comment on each and every new upload. Once again, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and we'll see you guys on the battle bus. Peace out.